Okay, I really did have to change. I've been I've been meaning to change this camera setting because every time I get on this racing game, I can't never see the bottom of the screen or nothing like that. But I didn't stream last week because for some reason that whole time I was streaming, it didn't even my voice wasn't even playing. So I was kind of upset about that, but I was like, oh, all right, whatever. But I just want my future self to know right now that as I'm sitting in this room, just know that you're feeling the nostalgia vibes of back in the day of when you would get out of school. No, sorry. This is a day after school, which is on a Saturday, and you're just at the house playing the game all day. Yeah, I can't even describe the feelings right now. I mean, like if you had that childhood of where you was playing the game all day on a Saturday and you were in school, like you would understand the feeling. But of course, now when you're older and you're working. Uh, Sorry, I just felt some vibration outside. Yeah, when you're working, it's almost like, I'm just gonna take a nap and then do whatever. I mean, I took a nap half the day, and now I'm just kind of like, I mean, I'm up, but I don't know. I really don't know. Um, but yeah, I'm finna tell finna tell some more kitchen horror stories while getting. I guess you can. Oh, hold on. Jesus Christ. Ooh. Let's see. Skip that. Okay, I really do hope that what's the name had clipped that. I really do hope my camera cut off for that, or nobody's seen that in the stream because I don't know how it is. Like if you pay for something, I really don't know if it shows stuff like that. But I'm finna tell these kitchen horror stories while hopefully not getting whooped online. I hope not. And I know the last time we were. I know the last time I was on Rick Irwin's. While I was coming out of the Weston horror stories, and then I was jumping into Rick Irwin's. But you know what? I did have this whole thing where I was gonna end up. Okay, good. I did have this whole thing where you know I was gonna sit here and just kind of like put nicknames on people's names and stuff. But you know what? I always told myself, if you're gonna comment under this video and I'm talking about you, you know what you were doing. It was wrong. Then it was wrong. But to do the whole recap on the Westin, I mean it which the Westin was like a fine dining hotel. That was really it's a good experience. like it was a good experience, but at the same time, it was you know, like it was hectic. It was just sometimes it would be sorry, I cannot do two things at one time. I'm trying to share. Come listen to me. Yeah. But yeah, I had the Western. It was okay. It wasn't. I always tell people if you ever want to get into the culinary, you know, like doing culinary stuff, yeah, like just do fine dining first, because I promise you, it's gonna, you know, it's gonna give you like discipline and it's gonna give you discipline, and you know, you're gonna like learn more stuff than I would say a commercial restaurant. And y'all know I can't play and talk at the same time, so I'm just gonna see how this goes. Oh God, I got lucky with that. And while we're talking about kitchen stuff slash food, I just want to let y'all know where I'm at right now. I did not know, but the Waffle House by my house has a C grading, which is crazy. But that's another thing. You're not gonna like if you ate somewhere so many times, you're not even looking at the grading on the door until like you're kind of just like parlaying outside, and you're just kind of like, oh, you know, look at that big fat red C, you know. So that's just something else to pay attention to, like, you know, wherever you're at. You know, Waffle House by my house, I mean, it doesn't even look like it has a C, but food good though. You know, I ain't. Oh my God. Ooh, he baited me. No, I have no idea why they didn't. I don't know what happened to the whole not bumping in, not bumping into each other. I don't even know what happened to that feature. There used to be people not bumping into each other, people not baiting you into crashing. But now it's kind of. Dude, why would you? Oh my God. See? People like that. See? See, he think that Corvette gonna save him. Come on now. Try this out the way. Oh my God. Okay, that's crazy. But so Rick Irwin's, which is a fine dining restaurant that was connected to a hotel, so you can almost say that this was like a standalone, just like a standalone restaurant. The only thing that I can really say about that place is of course I always wanted to work in a standalone restaurant, but this place was your shift started at 3 and of course service starts at 5, and it's almost like you got 2 hours of prep. Now of course I was always working Saute, which was the hardest station that you can ever work, but when it's almost like you got to get in there, do what you need to do, so that way you're not you're not sweating out the ass. Because once you fall behind, it's over. Like, your whole day is already messed up. Now, of course, we had a couple people in there that made it seem like that sauteing was the most easiest thing that you can ever do. And it's really not. But then again, it really is if you know what you're doing. So, I would go in, do what I need to do. And, before shift, everybody's talking shit to each other, blah, blah, blah. And, people are just, like, trying to get their prep done so that way nobody's falling behind. But during shift, everybody is, during the rush, you hear no talking except for communication, all that, and that's really all everybody was asking for. Nobody wants to walk in there and get their ass whooped every day. So my whole thing is that down to the horror stories. Okay, this place was, well, let me start by this. I worked on some Sundays, and you have brunch. You'll have brunch, and you'll end up just sitting here. So you'll end up cooking all this food. You got cold food, you got hot food, you got, believe it or not, Rick Irwin's was a seafood place, so you had clams and mussels for brunch. Never heard of that before. That's the most craziest thing that you ever had for brunch. And then you'll end up cooking the French toast, and don't know what they had against pancakes, but we did waffles. So, and I think we had like chicken tenders or something. But anyway, past all that, this one particular Sunday, I'm just now getting done, like, setting everything. Everybody's bringing the food back, so the front of the kitchen would just be full of the food that was already out there for brunch. And I kid you not, as time went by, people were coming in early just to eat. Mine's supposed to be there at 3. People coming in early just to eat. I kid you not, time was going by. 3 o'clock, 3:30. By the time 3:45 came, everybody's asking, "Oh man, where's Will at? Where's Will?" I'm just like, man, hey, bump him. So, we're trying to figure out where he's at. 4 o'clock came, 4:15, 4:30. Mind you, service starts at 5 o'clock. 4:45, this man walks in the door, and we're like, "Oh shit, well, what the hell's going on?" Blah blah blah. This man looks everybody dead in their face and just says, "Where's the waffles at?" Bruh, you are an hour and 45 minutes late, and you're asking where the waffles at? No type of excuse, no nothing. So we just like, whatever. Will is this guy. I hate to say this, but we went to the same elementary school together and didn't even know it. But the downfall of that is we all think Will was snorting powder. He had to be. His nose was always running. But let me tell you something. I've never seen somebody on the grill. Never seen it before. This man was a magician on the grill. You would think he's falling behind. I've never seen nothing like. I've never seen a performance like that. Will, I mean, absolutely crazy, but he got on my fucking nerves. I mean, Will got on my nerves. Look, he got on my nerves. I swear he did. This man would just... I couldn't. But you want to know who else got on my... I mean, but it was always Will and Corey. Now, Corey, let me tell you about him. He didn't never wear saute. He did some frying. He never got on the grill. And let me tell you something about grill. This one job that I can't wait to get to. This one job, they asked me why won't I work grill. I was like, because this is, you know, it's a difference between when you have fine dining grill. When you have fine dining grill and when you have a commercial restaurant where they say, oh, I want my steak medium well, that means you want it well done. Fine dining, when they say medium well, they mean they want it medium. So when, like, I work the grill sometimes and it's not hard, but saute is where it's at. Saute, you would have the most discipline on saute. It's so easy, but people made it so hard. But Corey, we was finna go out in the back, and you know, we finna go at it because he got mad at me because I was talking shit about how he was selling his plasma, but it was one of those things where everybody's getting on his ass, but then he looks at me and was like, oh, why you laughing? Nigga, I'm laughing at you. Nigga, I'm laughing at you. How about that? You know, I'm laughing at you. Oh man, we can go right now. I said, well shit, I mean, come on then. You know, so he one of the ones like, he was one of the ones that was over there talking about something. Alright, well, you know, like, well, hold on, bro. Let me go ahead and get this done real quick. Then, you know, we can go out of bed. Do. Bro, come on now. So, what happened with that was he really didn't want to fight, but he wanted to fight. You know, me personally, I don't like, what is it? I don't like confrontation, but I mean, if a nigga really want to take it there, I mean, we could do it. So what happened was the chef found out that you know, we finna go at it. So we didn't ever go outside before service. So he made us take the trash out after service together. And after that, I mean, I guess we got our ass whooped so bad that we just forgot what we was arguing about. I don't know, but I really wasn't even worried about it. Yeah, but Corey was another guy that just, he got on my nerves, but he got shit done though. You know, I will say that he got shit done. Yeah, I would never forget. So, and another thing is, we had this other guy named Andrew. He came from the Cheesecake Factory, and he made it seem like that, you know, sauteing was gonna be easy, and you know, we're sitting there asking him like, oh, we're sitting there asking him like, you know, where did he come from? You know, he told us Cheesecake Factory, so we're like, okay, cool. So, you know, I'm saying like, okay, well, you got some sense on like what you doing then. And he told me, yeah. So I just showed him where everything was. And mind you, he was working saute right beside me. Now the saute station, I would say, is probably saute station. I mean, it's probably from like wall to wall, like in this room right here. You know, you had You had I'm sorry. Oh, hold on. So like, you know, Saute Station was pretty big. You had it from like wall to wall, probably like in this room right here. But you had 2, 4, 6, 8. You had probably like 16 burners, if I'm not mistaken, or probably 20 burners over there. But you were still getting your ass whooped. And once he said that he came from the Cheesecake Factory, I didn't really know how. Excuse me. This is when Cheesecake Factory. It people once again simple people, and I hate to say it like this, simple-minded people think that Cheesecake Factory, Longhorn, Outback, what else am I missing? Hell, where I'm at down here, Applebee's. They think places like this is fine dining, and it kills me. It really does kill me. Wait, hold on. We finna get back on Andrew in a minute after this race, because this is probably gonna be like the slowest race. Well, look at that. First place, but it's not gonna last long. It's really not. You know what? I got a somewhat good feeling about this race, but then again, every time I say that, I just jinx myself. I really did. I'm in first place this long. I gotta be playing against some scrubs. I really don't understand. But then again, something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen. I'm gonna end up getting like 9th place in the end or something. I don't know why I braked twice. That was crazy. That turn was crazy. That turn was crazy too. Being this close to the pack right now, this is crazy right now. I've never, but then again, watch me jinx myself. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, I messed up. I messed up. That was crazy. Oh. When I tell you I've never been this close to the pad, close to first place, this is crazy. Oh, I messed up. Oh, no, I didn't. And this is where I'm gonna jinx myself at right here. Oh my god. I swear I got goosebumps right now. My heart, I swear, it's beating like probably like 200 miles an hour right now. Oh my god, I did the same. Oh my god, he crashed. He crashed. He's done for. He's done. Yeah, he's done. He's done. He's done. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Okay, sorry. I have never gotten like that third place, nothing like that. I mean, like, all the blood is rushing to my head right now. That was the most craziest race that I ever raced. Hands like kind of shaking just a little bit.
On peut reprendre notre progression sur cette playlist.
I appreciate the GGs though. Oh my god. Those are one of those type of races right there where you almost had to like take like just a small tiny break. Cause you don't want to get too amped up. And that's another thing. You don't want to get first place. You don't want to be in first place because you never know where the next turn is going to be. You can look at your map, but you never know how that corner is going to be. You know, you almost kind of would like want to sneak up on them. I'm sorry, just give me like 30 seconds. Hold on. All right. We're gonna get back into Andrew. Oh no, I really do not want to do. Drifter playing. We're gonna get back into Andrew in a minute. But if I get as close as I did this time, like I did in the last race, then I mean, there's no way. But no, the whole Andrew saga and chronicle, I mean, his downfall ended up being that he came from Cheesecake Factory and he was he said that they ended up having screens, you know, as in like, you know, for the orders. We had tickets. And once some tickets started piling up on his ass, I mean, like, he just, like, everything just went crashing down. He's an asshole. Oh my god, I didn't keep it tight. Pause. Oh, that was crazy. First place for 5 seconds. If I would have missed that checkpoint, it would have been over for me. It would have been over. Oh my god, that was a crazy turn. Yeah, I don't like this map. I don't like it. Now look, let me tell you something. You would be a fool to take the plane route. You. That checkpoint was actually crazy right there. In between two rocks, that's crazy. Oh, he crashed. He's done. He's done for. Oh my god! There's no way. There's no way. Oh. Golly. I doubt if I'm ever gonna catch up. I doubt it. Oh, I got distracted. Uh-oh. How? Oh, now the son I could drive. Come on now. Oh. Ooh. I mean, I know I wasn't gonna get that lucky the second time. But, so my whole thing with Andrew is he really thought that he thought Rick Irvin was gonna be easy. He thought working Saute was like really gonna be that easy, and it is, but like I keep saying, it's not, because people got to eat their appetizers first. So the grill and the saute are always going to be the last ones to, like, you know, get all the pressure on them. So we had 2 printers, and when I say that servers coming back there talking about, hey, can you fire such and such? Hey, I need this, I need that, blah blah blah. That boy couldn't keep up. He couldn't keep up. He could not keep up. So it's almost like he didn't even know where he was at. Like that man didn't even know where he was. So he would sit there and, you know, make it seem like that, you know, he make it seem like that, you know, like he knew everything and all that. I didn't feel bad for him when he fell. Like, I let him fall on purpose. And what I mean by that is, I let him fall as in, like, you know, I didn't ever help him. Bro, I got my own shit over here to do. You know, the chef was over there just... Scott, man, he was bait, man. He was laughing at him. I was like, bro. I'm like, man. But he was over there for a week, then he quit. You know, that's always how it is. Somebody coming in there acting like they know what they're doing. They really don't. Let's see, Jalen. I really got enough for him. Jalen, man, Jalen was just a funny short guy, man. He was funny, but he mainly worked the fry station. Rock, oh my god, this dude from New York, man, he was a sous chef and he was funny as hell. Like, this had to be the most funniest guy. He probably had to be the most funniest dude in the kitchen, man. So I remember when he ended up, he told, oh man, what happened? So somebody reined something in, told him one thing, then ended up coming back and saying another thing. And then the chef wanted to know what was going on in the kitchen. But he basically told her to shut the fuck up and run this food out. That had to be the most craziest interaction I've ever seen in the kitchen. I've never seen... I've seen servers get talked down on, but when he said just shut the fuck up and just run the food, that had to be the most craziest thing I have ever I've never heard anybody cuss a server out. So I think she ended up crying and going home or something like that. That was crazy. But Rock was, man, he was always talking about if it wasn't him talking about Wu-Tang or, you know, anything that had to do with New York, if you weren't talking about that, he didn't want to hear it. But me, Caleb, and sometimes Corey, anything we had to say, like, he always want to hear it. But it's like his downfall. The only thing I can ever remember or that stood out in the kitchen with him was that one time when he had we're trying to figure out, like, you know, what happened to Rob. You know, we're trying to see what the hell going on. Well, shit, one day he came walking in, hoodie all the way down. I'm talking about, like, just down to the, like, covering the eyes and shit. I mean, this man came in the kitchen looking like the Grim Reaper. Just came in, did his little walk, tossed the keys on the desk, and, you know, it was almost like one of those things like you see out of a movie or something. He just came and tossed the keys on the counter and just left. You know, so come to find out he wasn't getting paid like they said that they were going to pay him. So I don't blame him. He ended up quitting. Then that say, you know, my first sous chef, Scott, ended up leaving me, like, the following weekend, only because his wife, like, traveled for work. But really, he was trying to get out of there too. But then ultimately they ended up bringing this dude named Justin in here. Justin was, I mean, he was a good chef. He was a good cook, I'm not gonna lie. This man knew what he was doing. You know, he really didn't change anything around, like, you know, as far as, like, if this person worked good over here, he wasn't gonna put you in different spots. But you know, but like I said, you know, that kitchen, we were always, like, crack, joke, play around. You know, I got like, you know, plenty of Snapchat stories of just, you know, every time I scroll down to that year, I mean, 2016, that was that was a good time. But what led to me leaving, and this story will always stick to me until I don't know when. What led me to leaving was they needed extra help. Now, Rick Irwin's, they had one place in the middle of downtown, then they had another place at the beginning of the downtown, and then they had okay, sorry, I want the kids busting in here. And then they ended up having, they just built this building that was kind of like still smack dab in the middle. There's like 5 ways you can come into downtown, but it was, you know, this big tall building that was kind of smack dab as soon as you're coming from this one part of downtown. So you know, I ended up volunteering myself. I was like, oh yeah, you know, like, then you get paid a little bit of extra if you go in there and work. Okay, that's cool. You know, I like prepping anyway. This was like a place that you would prep if they had two what'd you call it? When they had events, banquets, and weddings and all that. So, I ended up prepping, and my whole thing was this one particular day before I left, or no, I came to the restaurant because I would work there at 11 or 12 and then walk 5 blocks. I walked 5 blocks going back to the restaurant. And sorry, pause on that story. Speaking of walking 5 blocks, if you're smack dab in the middle of downtown, and this was pretty big, if you're smack dab in the middle of downtown at the Westin, we didn't have cookies one day. Frozen cookies, and the chef called the Hyatt, which was all the way on the other side of downtown at the beginning. And he was like, yeah, can you just run down there and go get me, yeah, they're going to give you 10 boxes of cookies. Alright, cool. Now you would think, hey, why don't you just drive down there? No, it would be more, you end up either going to get towed or a ticket. So, the smartest thing would do is just to bring a cart and just wheel that shit back down to the hotel. Let me tell you something. That was the most, that was the most difficult day of my life. I mean, I just, like the cookies damn near almost fell. I mean, I was, it was cold that day. It was crazy. That day was crazy. But, so Jason, which was the executive chef. And yes, Jason, if you're listening to this shit right now, I would never forgive and forget. I would never. If you're looking at my face, right, I would never forgive and forget you. Never. What happened? So he told me, hey, just be there around this time, which is early in the morning. So I'm like, all right, cool. He said around like 6 o'clock. He said the doors are not open. Then just come and basically he said like, just call me and then I'll call Brandon and then he'll just end up like let you in. All right, cool. Simple, right? So I end up going and I end up, the door was locked. I called him at 5:50 because if you're on time, you're late. If you're 1 minute, if you're supposed to be there, at 6 and you're there at 6:01, you're late. If you're there at 5:59, you're still technically late because you're not like technically in the building. I called him at 5:50 and I said, hey, the door's up. He was like, man, what the fuck? Man, why the fuck you calling me? I ain't had my coffee, blah, 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 blah. So he just started going off. So I was sitting there like, I was like, all right. I was like, well, I mean, just contact. He was like, all right. So then he just hung the phone up. All right, cool. So, I ended up working that day, I didn't tell nobody, what happened, I was just a little bit upset, just a little bit. Ended up doing my prep work. Ended up going to the, ended up working that day, going at 3. Once again, nobody knows what's going on. So, coming in, everybody's like, oh man, what's up, blah, 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 so I just, I'm fully clothed or whatever, had on my chef jacket and my t-shirt underneath, which had the Rick Irwin shit on it. So Jason ended up coming in talking, hey man, like, I'm sorry about, this morning, about what happened, blah, blah, blah. I was like, man, look, it's my last fucking day in this bitch. Said it straight like that. This is my last fucking day in this bitch. He was like, oh man, what you talking about? Oh, blah, 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 like, I didn't mean it, but I said, man, it's my last fucking day. Said it straight like that. So then he was like, well, just think about it. Just think about it after service. Man, what nothing to think about. But that day, I ended up getting my ass whooped on the line. That was a devastating ass whooping on the line. By this time, my homeboy Caleb already left, so I forgot who was working right beside me. That was an ass whooping. So then I ended up working that shift, and next thing you know, once I got done, Jason wanted to talk to me with the owner, then with the owner's partner, and there was like 3 managers in there. Then nobody asked me what happened. Nobody asked me what happened. I think they kind of already knew. But then they over there talking about all these companies want to know is, are you gonna put your 2 weeks in because they trying to get somebody else in there? I said, fuck no. Look them dead in their eye. Look, hell no. Fuck a 2 weeks. Why would I put my 2 weeks in when you just had your executive chef damn near cuss me out on the phone? I was already ready to go anyway because Scott already left. Rock left. They fired Caleb because he put... That was another crazy story. They ended up firing Caleb because they called him on his day off to come in because he put mushrooms in the owner's daughter's risotto. I'm like, bruh, why in the hell did you not just make just simple risotto? You put all this extra shit in there. So then they called him in the next day. I didn't know that he was working. He wasn't even supposed to schedule the work. Next thing you know, they let his ass go. So, damn near everybody was gone. So yeah, I ended up quitting, and Jason, he wasn't nothing but a fat piece of shit, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I hope like 10, 15 years later, I hope you run into this video and you actually hear like, yeah, I called you a fat piece of shit. Because that's all you ever gonna be. You ain't gonna be shit else. So yeah, and then it's crazy because a couple days later, I'm at the mall and Justin called me and he was like, oh yeah, I quit there. I was like, damn man, why? Come to find out they did him the same way they did Rock, and they didn't want to pay him, but it said he was being the chef and the sous chef. We didn't have no sous chef. He wanted to be, sorry. Let me rewind that. They wanted him to be the chef and the sous chef, but really, ultimately he was a chef. So, it was just one of them things where it's just like, oh my god, like Rick Irwin's, now that I look back at it, 2016 to like, and mind you, that's the year that I met my wife. Funny story, I was in Tinder. I was on Tinder, and we had this little thing that was like, let's say that this is the end of the line right here. I had this little shelf where I used to prop my phone up, and I was on Tinder, and I remember I was 20 tickets deep, getting my ass whooped while texting my wife on Tinder. And like, she said that if I didn't respond, like, she knew I was at work and she was at school at the library. She said if I didn't text back faster, she said ain't no telling where it would have been at. Crazy word. Crazy. So Yeah, Rick Owens. Now that I look back at it, what that was 10? No, we're in 2025 right now. That was 9 years ago. Now I look back at it, that place wasn't that bad. Like I keep saying, it's always gonna be the people. It's never the work. Some of those people in there got on my nerves to the max. But now I look back at it, that place was the most easiest place to ever work. But the only person, 2-3 years later, when I checked back in, the only person that was working there was Will. Crazy ass work. There's no way. And funny story about Will. Will told everybody in the kitchen he used to be a real estate agent, and then transition into working in the kitchen. How do you go from a real estate agent to working in the kitchen? How does that even work? But he I mean, I truly did love everybody in the kitchen though. So Corey, Jalen, Rock, Caleb, Mark, even though he was Mark, man, even though he didn't like me, I still fuck with him. Jeroboam, Scott, Buck, and Stretch. Y'all was truly like, that was the best crew I ever worked with. I don't think I'm missing anybody, but that was the best crew I ever worked with. I never worked with anybody like them. If I had if I actually had people like them, man, I mean, the workplace would be so much simpler. Workplace would be so simple. But not everybody's gonna have the same work ethics as the next person. So, like, that's almost what you gotta, that's almost what you have to take account for. But real quick, let me go use the bathroom real quick. Let me pause this mic. All right. Okay, so let me see if I can still hear myself. Now, Mom, if you can type, can you hear me? Because I just unmuted the mic. I just want to see. I just want to see if it's still working. All right. Oh my God, it's gonna be a good race. I forgot which one's the fastest, but whew. I mean, the first turn is always gonna be a crazy turn. Always. He's done. He can't drive. He's done. He's done. Oh. Oh. Oh my God. There's no way. Okay, I was following him. Yeah, I'm done for. I'm done. What the f- Man, these bozos could never. There's no way. If I didn't crash on that one turn, there's no way.
On termine toujours ses playlists, pilote.
Alright, I still got a little bit of time because I gotta get my wife something to eat and my nephews, blah blah blah. So yeah. I end up dipping out of Rick Irwin's and going back to the Western just for a short period of time, just to figure out where else I'm gonna go. So then I think I ended up calling Mike, and I was like, "Hey, where you at? You know, like work wise." He said that he was at the country club that was like 5-10 minutes away from my house. I'm like, all right, cool. Like let's see how that works out. Because I never worked at a country club. So then, I'm like, all right, cool. I end up going there. We end up talking, and he said, "Hey, I just want you to come in just to, just kind of like, get the feel for it, just to see how it is." Because ultimately, he was going to end up, put me as like a sous chef. My first sous chef job. I'm like, okay, how bad could it be? How bad? This place, Holly Tree, I would drag that place. I would drag that place's name to the dirt. That place was full of shit. Joe, the GM, he full of shit. Patrick, he was always full of shit. Oh, let me tell Jeremy to come in here so he can verify all this. So, I end up leaving the Western because I already knew I got the job. But see, the current sous chef was in there. Dolan. Oh my God, this had to been the worst. One of the worst people I have ever worked with. I have never worked with somebody like Nolan before. When I walked in there, I don't even think he said anything to me. But Mike just told me to go ahead and just, start in the freezer and just, clear it out. Now, when I say there's a whole lot of shit in the freezer, I'm talking about meat, stuff that's not consolidated. I swear I can't stand walking in the kitchen and shit is not consolidated. You had cut up meat, like you just had. Oh my God, I can't even explain this. So we had big ass tubs, like there was big ass tubs like full of meat, and I just kept pulling it out. And I pulled at least like 4 tubs of meat. I'm talking about cut up tenderloins. You got ribeyes. You got chicken. You got duck meat. You got all types of shit in here. So I just sat on the back table, and Nolan was back there too. I sat on the back table. He asked me, "What am I doing?" I said, "Well, Mike said pull it out." He started getting scared. So I'm pulling it out. Next thing you know, Mike come back there. "What the fuck is all this?" And I said, "Hey man, this all stuff that came from the freezer." So he looked at Nolan and he told him to get his ass. He said, "You get the fuck out of here right now." He said, "This shit right here is ridiculous." straight like that. And he ended up leaving. So he told him to come back later on. So next thing you know, well, he told him to come back the next day. So we're trying to sit here and consolidate all this meat, and we're trying to figure out what's freezer burnt, what's not. And I'm still going through the freezer. So now Mike wants to know what else is in the freezer. So we go back there. I mean, I think we filled up the trash can at least like 4 times. I mean, there was like so much stuff. But you know what? I don't blame Mike on this. I blame. You know what? If we're splitting it up, if we're splitting it up, 80% Nolan's fault, 20% Mike's fault. 80% of Nolan's fault because he's back there. He's in the back of the kitchen, ain't doing shit, and he said the reason why he could have bought that meat is because he got bored. That's some crazy shit. So basically he was just wasting money. Mike, it's 20% his fault because he wasn't looking in the he wasn't looking in the freezer. So hold on. Okay, I thought somebody was outside. I mean, like, it was his fault, for not like looking in the freezer. So then, let's see. So then, like, what happened was, like it was his fault. It was all Nolan's fault. I don't blame nobody else. I don't blame nobody else but Nolan. So, after that, I was trying to get used to, like how they do things in there, and still slowly throwing things out, and saying that we need this and that. And I think Nolan knew. I think he knew that his time was going to be up, but I couldn't be sous chef yet until his ass got out of there. So it's not that I was still getting the sous chef pay though, but I was working the line. But what happened was he he still made it seem like that he was top dog. Bruh, you ain't shit. Like he did. Oh my god, he was so bad in the kitchen. But the number one thing that stood out, this man smelled like ass. His arm stunk so bad. I can't make this shit up. His arm stunk so bad. I'm like, bro, there's no way. There's no way. But then when Savalas came in there, which was, he was somebody that came in just to help. He was somebody that came in there just to help. Like just for a little bit, like when help needed. Y'all go ahead and go, follow, One Love Catering. Shout out to my nigga Savalas. He really did show me a whole lot. Yeah, he was actually he told me he never smelled it. He never smelled Nolan's arms. I'm like, bro, are you crazy? Like, you can smell Nolan a mile away. There's no way you didn't smell that. There's no way. No way. So, finally, like, days pass and, weeks pass. Then finally a bum came and he came in and he said, what's that smell? I'm like, bro, that's Nolan. That's Nolan. Like he actually thought I was playing with him. I'm not playing with you. So Nolan, he's gonna come. He's gonna come later on. But when I tell y'all this, Mike had brought in this old guy named Walt. I don't know what chemistry they had together. I don't know where they used to work at together, man. But this dude, nah, he was not built for the kitchen. He made it seem like Walt made it seem like he was big top notch shit in the kitchen. But let me tell you this one crazy ass story that is never gonna leave my it's never gonna leave me. This story will always stick to me. This is worse than the guy at the Westin putting his dick in the ice machine. This is way worse than that one. So Walt comes in, and mind you, I did minimal cooking. I really didn't do that much cooking. I did minimal cooking. And I used to stand on the other side and when help is needed, I would go. So Walt came in and this one particular time everybody's on there, everybody's on the line doing what they need to do, all this other crap. So I'm sitting here like, okay, cool, I'm over here BSing, I really ain't doing nothing. I'm just kind of walking around, asking people, do they need help? They cool, da-da-da. Bruh, I seen how this man was standing, and let me tell you how he was standing. He was standing like this on the line. Like, he was just kind of like standing like this, and I'm just trying to figure out why he's not moving from this spot. So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. Maybe he's just like taking a break. But he's like standing here with his legs like, when I say like his legs are like spread out like this, and he's just standing there, just lean up on the line like this. So then he ended up. I went to go do something. I came back and I was like, damn, where's Walt at? And Mike was just like, he just shaking his head. I'm like, what, bro? What? He talking about something. Well, I really can't say, but I was like, man, like, just tell me. So we off in the back, and it was Dustin, Antoine, and I think Savalas was there, and I think Troy was there too. So next thing you know, and I think, I want to say Jeremy was there too, I think. So next thing you know, he was like, nah, I really can't say. I'm like, bro, man, like, just tell me it can't be that bad. Like, what? Did he throw up? Like, was he sick or something? So, like, he didn't tell me. So then towards the end of the night, I kind of let it go. So once the end of the night came, he finally told me. He said, what the hell? Okay, sorry. Technical difficulties real quick. Okay. I'll fix that later. He ended up saying that Walt shitted on himself. He shit on himself on the line. But I didn't smell nothing. I mean, he said that the shit was like dripping down his leg and shit. I said, damn. He stood there because he was shitting on himself. I never heard of anything like that. That was actually crazy. So he ended up shitting on himself, and he ended up leaving. So I mean, of course, I was laughing about that shit. Like for the remainder of the time I was working there, like I've never heard somebody shit on themselves. So he ended up, coming back. He ended up coming back, and I said, "Walt, you good?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah, yeah, Tony, I'm good." Blah blah. I said, "You sure?" I thought you guys said. Now, you know me, if anything was to happen to me in the kitchen that was like that tragic, I would never tell nobody what I did. Because Mike I was willing to keep that secret between us. I wasn't gonna tell nobody. But this man waited till everybody got in the kitchen. He was like, "Yeah, man, I'm good, Tony, but man, like I just, I couldn't hold it, man. I just ended up shitting on myself." I'm like, bro, what the fuck, man? I'm like, bro, there's no way. No way. Hey, wait, hold on real quick. Let me pause it for a minute. As a matter of fact, yeah, I gotta go get my wife and my nephew something to eat. So, I don't know if I'll be back on tonight, but 9 times out of 10 I will. But yeah.